about 10 students still missing, but that's why we're going to record this session so they can watch it later on. So my name is Igor Repac. I'm working in the international office at the University of Ljubljana, Faculty of Education, and I welcome you in Slovenia. I'm joined today by my colleague Tina, both from international office, and we prepared this introductory welcome meeting. We're going to walk you through some basic information that you need to know for living and studying in Ljubljana. Let me begin our presentation with first information that we actually have 2 Erasmus student networks in Ljubljana, and I think they are actually competing with each other, so they are organizing really a lot of events and happenings, although I'm not sure, probably a bit less than previous years due to COVID restrictions, but still I think it's worth knowing about them, and I think it's good that you at least register or hook up with them so that you are notified about the events that they are organizing. We also have a tutor-student system at the faculty, which you can use. This is particularly useful for students who still have some problems, maybe with finding the room or just having general problems with finding your way, settling in Ljubljana during the first few weeks, for few days. I think our student representative is present here today. Katarina, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. So can you just shortly introduce yourself so the students can see you?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. I'm Katarina, and I'm a primary education student. I'm a 4th year student, and I'm the coordinator of tutoring system. So as Igor said, you can contact us on this email, and we will provide you a student body. So if you have any questions, you can ask them or just write on this email and I'll answer. So don't be shy. If you need anything, we're here to help.
Thank you, Katarina. Okay, so I hope that otherwise you don't have any problems, that you have all settled in nicely, that you have rooms. If not, we'll try to help you. Okay, let's move on. I usually begin our presentation with a short presentation of our university. I'm sure you know where have you applied for exchange and you know where you came to, but maybe just in short, we were established in 1919. We are, in the last few years, always among 500 best world universities in all the major rankings. We are quite big university. We have 26 full members, so that are 23 faculties and 3 art academies, and 3 associated members. You have to know, and probably you're already aware of this, that our faculties of our university are located all over the city. So we don't have a campus as such at one place. This location where the Faculty of Education is the closest thing you can call to a campus. We have a few neighboring faculties here: Faculty of Economics, Faculty of Administration, Faculty of Social Sciences, and not too far away is also a Faculty of Social Work. We also quite big university in terms of number of students. We have almost 50,000 students, and if you know that Ljubljana has what, 300, that means that every 6th person is a student here. Our faculty is among the biggest faculties at the university. We have approximately 2,500 students and about 200 staff members. And as you will see, we are quite diverse. We have 9 different departments and variety of our degree programs. We educate classic, traditional teacher education degree programs, but we also have degree programs for special education, for visually impaired education, social pedagogy, art education. So there are a few here, as you can see, that I colored in red. These degree programs are offered also in English language. So if anybody of you would love it here so much and would maybe like to return later on to continue their education, this is information for you. So I'm saying this because we actually did have some of such examples that a student who was Erasmus student here later on decided to continue education on our university, our faculty. So, as I said, I work in the International Cooperation Office, which is located in ground floor, room 34. These are our opening hours, although I have to say that we accept students also outside of these opening hours, and probably it's best if you want to visit me that you first send me the email, so I make sure that I'm that day in the office, and it doesn't matter which day it is. If I'm there, I can always accept it. So we will start this presentation with, I will mention a few practical things that I think it's good that you know, but we will not get into too much detail of it. On Wednesday, there was a welcome meeting, online meeting for foreign students, which was organized by our main international office at the university, and they spent much more time on this practical stuff. So in case you didn't attend this meeting, I was told that it was recorded and it will be published on this link. I checked about 2 hours ago, it was still not there, but I guess they will put it by the end of the day or Monday at latest. Now, you don't have to copy all this stuff that I'm having at the presentation. I will publish this presentation right after the meeting on our website, so we'll be able to download it later on. Now, you must not forget to arrange your residence permit. So this is something you have to do during the first weeks you're here, if you haven't done this yet. You have, this is precise instruction. I believe that on the recordings of the meeting by our main international office, they explain this in much more detail. I'm just putting it here so that you don't forget about it. Probably you already know that we also have a very nice student meal system in Ljubljana, so you're able to eat quite cheaper in most of the restaurants in Ljubljana, but you have to make some special arrangements to be able to do this. And again, I think you will hear much more about this process at the recorded welcome meeting organized by our main international office. But you can also go directly to this link and inform yourself on how to do that. And just a small note, this is possible only from 14th of July, so from next week, because you are officially enrolled into our university in the second semester, which starts on Monday. You are also able to use to buy a student bus card. This is so-called URBANA time card, the green one. It costs 20 euros per month. To be able to purchase that, you need special form, which we have already sent it to you. And together with that form and the student cards, you're able to buy this URBANA time card. If, however, you think you will not need public transport that often, then maybe you don't need to buy a monthly student card, and you can go by just by paying for the public transport with the ordinary URBANA URBANA card, and I think one ride costs €1.30. That's the information from my last presentation. I hope it's still valid. And there is one nice way to get around to Ljubljana, which I recommend, is the self-service bike borrowing system called BICIKEI. Basically, you have stations with bicycles all around Ljubljana, and with URBANA cards, if you register for this system, you can just borrow the bike, get on the bike, come to the faculty. There is one station near the faculty, leave the bike there, and then again rent another one when you go home. So this is something really neat in the spring when it will get warmer. Now it's a bit too cold for this, I think. Then our university also has a center for extracurricular activities. And we were told that we should invite you if you are interested. You can do this on this particular link. And they are organizing various online events that will or can help you to enhance your knowledge and skills. So we definitely recommend that you register for their notifications, and then you will see whether this is interesting for you or not. So, so much about this practical stuff. Let's talk about now the main Erasmus documentation that you need for your exchange. Basically, there are 3 documents that you need to be aware of, that you need to take care of: confirmation of stay, learning agreement, and transcript of records. And I will talk about all 3. Confirmation of stay, we have already asked you to let us know what was the exact date of your arrival. So we have, if you sent us this information, we have already sent you back confirmed confirmation of stay, and where we confirmed the date you arrived. Now we will do this again at the end of your exchange when we have to confirm the date of your departure. Now, please be aware that this form will be most certainly used by your university or agency or whoever gave you the Erasmus grant to calculate the exact number of days you have spent on exchange. Now, Erasmus grant that you received is not something that you are entitled to as an Erasmus student by default. Erasmus grant is meant as a financial help for a student while he or she is living abroad. That means that, for example, if, I don't know, by some miracle we again have some lockdowns and you have to go home, you are not entitled to Erasmus grant for the time you spend at home. And this especially becomes important at the end of the exchange. There are some courses that you can finish earlier. So by doing some ongoing assignments and seminars, probably not all, but probably there are some courses that actually do not have an exam at the end if you do this stuff during the semester. So it can happen that you will finish earlier than you expected. Our semester ends at the beginning of June. Actually, lectures end at the beginning of June, and then we have 1 month of examination period till the beginning of July. And most of you have announced also in your home university that you will be here to the beginning of July. If it happens that you finish earlier and you decide to go home already at the beginning of June, please do not come to my office and ask me to sign that you are here for another month. We were warned by national agency that we absolutely must put here the exact dates, and that stating the fake dates is a form of fraud. So I used to sign this kind of confirmations without any problem. It's not in my interest that you have to return part of the grant, but we were warned, and now I'm sticking to the real dates. So unofficially, I mean, I don't care if you go and travel for 14 days around Europe and come back and then collect the confirmation of stay. But please just don't ask me to just openly to that, because otherwise you have to return the grant. Can you please sign that I'm here for another month? Just that we are clear. Now, the next important document, of course, probably the most important, is learning agreement. You should all already have signed learning agreement, because we were discussing in advance what courses you're going to have. Unfortunately, we came up with the schedule rather late, but that's the objective reasons. And some of you have probably already noticed that some of the courses are overlapping. We try to avoid this as much as possible, but there are certain occasions, there are a few occasions where there is some overlapping. So in case you see that, please let us know so we can find a solution and enroll you into one other course. Of course, you are entitled to change the learning agreement, even if there is nothing overlapping, but you just discovered that the course is not what you thought it's going to be, or you found something else which is more interesting. You can still do these changes, but of course, there is a time limit. Until when can you do this? So the more the time passes by, the harder it is to enroll into a new course, because by that time professors have already given some assignments, students are probably divided into groups and so on. So we have this deadline February 25th. So this is after the first 2 weeks, you should have the final picture and decision which courses you're going to attend. And of course, do not forget, if you do any changes, you have to inform your coordinator as well, because this is directly linked with your recognition process. So they have to approve the changes as well. And the final document that you're going to receive at the end of this exchange here is the transcript of records. Now, we will provide, the international office will provide the transcript for you, but please know that we do not follow whether or not you have completed all the courses. So you will have to make sure to let us know once you see that you have all the grades in the system. And once you see that you have all the grades in the system, you can just send us the email and we will send you back the transcript of records. I have to say that often it happens that students, by the time that they have to go home, they do not have all the grades in the system. So this is normal, do not panic. In that case, you can still, check the system from your home. And again, the same, once you see that you have all the grades, just send us the email and we will send you the transcript. If your university demands that we send the transcript directly to your coordinator, let us know and we will do that. Otherwise, we will send it to you. Okay, so these are few items, few things that you have to have at the beginning of the exchange here. Student cards, very important. Some of you have already visited my office and I gave you your student cards. Those of you who didn't, please stop by. Today I'm not in the office, but I will be on Monday and Tuesday. And please come to my office as soon as possible, because this is something that you should have always with you, so you can prove that you are our student. Acceptance letter you received by email, or should have received by email already weeks ago, but you don't need one if you have a student card. So come and pick cards from my office, and you don't need the acceptance letter. We sent you the instructions for activation of digital identity. This is very important that you that you activate it. I will talk about this later on. We have also opened you so-called EMŠO number, and I will talk about this also later. We have sent you confirmation of stay form. We have sent you bus ticket form in case you opt to buy this student monthly bus URBANA card. And we have also sent you the link to the schedule of courses. So if you go through all this, student ID card is an official document that gives the exchange student the same rights as the Slovene students. So you will use this card as an accession to libraries and faculty exams. And you will use this card to prove that you are a student whenever you see that maybe they're offering some discount prices for students. You will be able to ask for that price and identify as a student of University of Ljubljana with the card. So it's good that you always keep it with you. EMŠO number is a personal identification number in the Republic of Slovenia, and it is entered in official records and other databases when stipulated by the law. So we gave you this number. You don't have to, always bring with you the whole paper, but it's enough that you write somewhere just the actual number. So there will be probably few occasions where you're going to be asked to enter that particular number. For example, I saw that it's required in the monthly bus cards. Probably you will also have to enter it in the residence permit requests and so on. So it's good that you put down this number, write this number in the phone, that you can always have it if necessary. Now, digital identity. We gave you the instructions on how to activate it. You will need digital identity to enter some of our IT systems. First of all, a student information system, and we at the faculty the professor will refer it to as BIS. I will talk about this later. You will need digital identity to access online classrooms or virtual classrooms that some professors are using. You will use identity for if you want to use computers in the lobby of the faculty, or if you want to use the computer classrooms of the faculty, or if you want to use the EduRoam wireless Wi-Fi network at the faculty. And last but not least, there are also some other services that you can use with our identity. I would like to emphasize the usage of the Office 365 license, which you can have for the time being a student of University of Ljubljana. You have all this explained into more detail on this provided link you can see in this particular slide. So your identity is actually, it looks like an email address. So it's comprised of your username and your password. The username resembles an email address, so it will look something like this: the initials of your name and surname and some numbers, and then student.uni.lg.si. But as you can see in the instructions we gave you, you absolutely first must do the first step, and that's activation of the identity. So go through the steps that are described in the instructions. In case you stumble in some problems, you have the help desk at the link where you do this. So try to find the help with the help desk. And if that doesn't work, you can also send me the email and we can take a look why you could not activate your identity. Now, sometimes the problem is, especially with the Portuguese or Spanish students, that they first registered for exchange in our university with some set of surnames, and then they try to activate the digital identity just with one surname. So you have to enter exactly the same data you have entered when you first registered for exchange at our university. So, student information system, or as we refer it to as BIS, this is the IT system, information system, where it's you can find your personal data and you can see in which courses we have enrolled you in. So once you activate your digital identity, this is please the first thing you have to check, whether or not you are able to enter our BIS system. And then you can check if we indeed enroll you into the correct courses. So you should be able to see all the courses you picked on our faculty. But even more importantly, here you will have to register for exams when the time comes. So this is really important, and I would really like to stress this out, because there are always, each year we have at least 5 students who completely forget about this. Because if you don't register for exam, professor will not be able to enter you the grades at the end. Now, please know that exam registration is necessary also for the courses where you maybe have completed the course just by some ongoing work during the semester with some seminars, assignments, and there is no actual exam at the end. Even in this case, you still have to register for exam because, as I said, if you do not register for exam, professor is not able to enter you the grade. And then you have to wait for another exam date, which can be in autumn. And in worst case scenario, you then are forced to wait till autumn to receive our transcript of the records. So please do not forget about this step. So this is this information system, and you should not confuse this with our virtual classroom, which is on platform Moodle. Those of you who are maybe familiar with the Moodle system, this is on the Moodle. So this is a separate thing. Virtual classroom is something that most of our professors use to in their courses. So they are posting their assignments, instructions, literature, and so on. So again, you can enter the virtual classroom system with your digital ID. Then in the search box, just enter the course you're looking for. And once you find the course, you will probably notice that it's further locked with the password, but the password will be given to you by our professor holder of that particular course, if it has a password. Some, I think, they are open, but some professors like to keep their classrooms locked with the password. So I hope I was clear enough. You will not have problems with using our virtual classroom. So where can you find these links? This is our homepage in English, and you can see on the left, you have the access link to both of these systems. Now, I can also mention that we have a so-called Erasmus Day, or we used to have. The last one was, I think, 2 years ago, or 1 year and a half ago. One of the courses that we offer to Erasmus students is nutrition and nutrition education, and the final work in that course is that students prepare their national dish. Now, we used to have this event each year when then these students have presented their national dishes in the faculty hall. So you can see it was quite a ceremony, like Olympics, actually. And this was one of the most anticipated events on our faculty each year. Always huge crowd has gathered, and after the introductory remarks by the dean, the whole event usually lasts for 3 minutes before everything is eaten up. I sincerely hope we will be able to organize this year, that we could, although probably not very likely, because we still have quite some restrictions when it comes to the so big gatherings. We also have at the basement of our faculty huge gym where students have possibilities to join some recreational sports like football, basketball, volleyball, ping pong, and so on. Now, I think that this was not possible in the first semester, given that all the circumstances with COVID. I'm not sure if they're going to allow this in the second semester, so I still left this slide here, and this is the contact of the person who is the coordinator for recreational sport. And in case you are interested, I recommend that you send him an email so that at least he has you on the mailing list if and when this possibility of recreational sports is again possible, that he sends you a note. And now we come to this unfortunate times that we are all living in. I'm sure you had to already read about the so-called RVT condition to be able to enter our faculty. those of you who have already visited my office know that we actually have a security at the door who is checking whether you meet the RBT condition. That means that you are either recovered, vaccinated, or you have to have a test. Now, you have more information about this on this particular link. We are just curious, so, and me and my colleague, we prepared a short poll, and I kindly ask you, we just want to see what kind of population of students we received. So how many of you, can you please just answer whether you're vaccinated or recovered, or you will be self-testing? Or if you don't want to answer, you don't have to, but we just like to have a general picture of the population of students that we received. Okay, thank you. For those of you who are not vaccinated, I have to mention that you have actually the possibility to get vaccinated at our university. So if you wish to do this now, this is the link where you can have more information and where you can register and get an appointment. Now, for those of you that will need to test self-testing, please note that you are entitled to free self-tests, which you can collect at any pharmacy in Ljubljana, free of charge. And to be able to do this, you need personal documents and student ID cards. However, be aware that in case you are planning to visit our faculty with the help of self-testing, officially the protocol, the instructions are that in that case you have to take the test at the actual faculty. And this is the hours when you can do this. I'm not entirely sure why this is demanded, but you must take the self-test at the faculty in one of these time periods. What you do if you notice that you have developed symptoms? Of course, you immediately go home and you stay at home while you have symptoms. And we kindly ask you to inform us on this particular email address. And in the email, please provide the following information: name and surname, and please add Erasmus student, so the person who will read this will know that you're an exchange student. The date when you were last present at the faculty in the name of the courses you attended that day. The date of last self-testing. We assume probably if you had some symptoms that you will take first the self-test. The date when you got the first symptoms, or state you have none, if that is the case. And the date of the PCR test, which confirms that you are indeed positive. Now, maybe I can mention that the protocol in the first semester was that in that case, if somebody has confirmed positive, then the whole group of students from that particular course had to stay at home 1 week. I see, however, that they have recently loosened up this protocol. So now only the person who is positive has to stay at home, while the others can still come to the faculty if they don't have symptoms, or if they were not especially notified by our national agency for health that they must stay at home. So what do you do if you find yourself that have symptoms? There is a special health center for exchange students, for international students, and you must call them, or maybe first you go to this link and you will see a list of doctors that are available there. You pick one and call them and explain your situation, and then they will tell you what to do next. If they will tell you that you're going to visit them, this is the address. and or they will tell you, or they will appoint you to the PCR test, and then you will go and see whether or not you're indeed positive. Now, please know that our PCR tests are not free of charge unless a doctor appoints you to it. So this is the procedure, this is the protocol. First, you have to call them, and then they will tell you what to do. Okay. Are there any questions? Let's see. There was one question in chat. At what hours are available? Aha, okay. When am I available? I will be in the office from 8 in the morning for sure, and at least till 3:30, 4 o'clock. So whenever suits you. So, and I have a lunch break in between. So between 11, 11:30, I'll be in the restaurant.
We actually wrote down this in the email you received with all the documentation we have sent you. But if you want to come to our office, please send us the email first and make sure that Igor will be there.
Okay. Okay, and now the schedule. I have made some last updates just a few minutes ago. You have it on this particular link, but you can also access it in this system. Now you will see that there are different forms of how the courses are run. So there are some courses which will not run through the whole semester, but rather in shorter period, but more intensive. So they have more hours, but the number of the meetings is limited. There are courses that have 2 hours per week, so 1 block per week, and they run through the whole semester. There are also courses that have 4 hours per week, and they also run the whole semester. And I especially want to mention the courses in which they are divided into the lecture part and the tutorials. The tutorials, the students are divided into small groups. It's much more interactive. And in such courses, you will see in the schedule that it has one time for lectures, and then there are probably 2 or 3 other for tutorials, for different groups of tutorials. That of course means that you don't have to attend all 3 tutorials. You will just pick one that suits the most into your schedule. But of course you will have to then always attend this particular tutorial, and you also have to discuss this or mention this to the professor at the beginning. So she has to approve it. We cannot have the situation that, I don't know, all the students attend just one group and 2 other groups are empty. So the students have to be divided evenly. But you have to know that with these courses that have different groups of tutorials, also the Slovenian students will be present. So there will not be just the Erasmus students there.
We asked all the professors to contact you regarding their start dates and all the other details you need for attending the course. And the other thing is we are still updating the course online with the starting date. So please check the timetable within a day or 2, okay?
The decision was just made an hour ago, so we still have to update this in our schedule and talk to our professors. The dean asked all the professors that they hold the courses at the faculty in person. So probably most of the courses will thus be organized at the faculty, but these professors are still allowed to decide to move the course online, and this is particularly applies to the professors who are a bit elderly and they are still afraid of infection, and they might decide that they're going to move their course online. Whether this is on Zoom or Teams, they will let you know. So most probably, I think it's safe to say that most of the courses you're going to have will be at the faculty, but some of them or part of the courses will probably also be online. if it happens that you have a course at the faculty in person, and then after the end, in, let's say 10 minutes starts another course, but that course is online and you don't have the time to go back home, you can use the classroom which is booked in the schedule. Okay, so you can go in that classroom and then have the course online. Okay, I hope I was clear enough. And as Tina mentioned, we have already put down the information, I think, for 2/3 of the courses about the exact date of beginning of the course, and we will try to get the rest of the information by the end of the day. We are still waiting for some answers from the professors, but they are also instructed, even if they do not notify us, that they must absolutely notify you how and when they're going to start. Okay, and we also have very nice library on the 4th floor, and here is my colleague Milena from the library, and I give the floor to her.
Thank you, Igor. So my name is Milena, and I'm librarian in the library at the Faculty of Education. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of library staff and tell you some words about our library. Go on.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So here's our website, and when you get the PowerPoint presentation, you can click on the title and you'll get directly to our website. So the library is located on the 4th floor, and it's open from Monday to Friday from 7:30 in the morning till 7 in the evening, and on Saturday from 7 till 2 in the afternoon. It's free to use the library, and when you first visit it, you can register with your student identity card. Go on. So our library is part of COBISS Plus National Library Management System, or National Catalog. If you clicked on the title, when you get the PowerPoint, you will be directly you'll get directly to the catalog. First, you can choose English. It's down at the bottom. And if you click on My COBISS profile, you can online register to our library. Let's go on. One of the databases in COBISS Plus is DICUL. It's Digital Library of University of Ljubljana, where you can access foreign or academic journals and ebooks from different academic and scientific fields. You can also find full text articles and articles that are in open access. You can also access these databases remotely with your digital identity. Go on. So part of COBISS Plus is also mobile app, mCOBISS. You can find it in all the different iStore and Android Store and Huawei App Gallery. With mCOBISS, you can reserve or renew books, and so you don't need to pay fee. Go on. We also invite you to individual or group training for library use. We adjust training to the group or to topic area. And send us email or just ask us in the library. Go on. So you're very welcome to the library. If you have some free time, we have some books for leisure time in English. And if you need space for studying or just doing some work, we have a quiet reading room. And if you prefer maybe print articles, we have some journals in English in print. And especially you're welcome to the library because you can find here very friendly librarians. So thank you for your time and welcome to the library.
Thank you, Milena, for this presentation. Now, this used to be the last slide, but the last couple of years, I decided to let one more. It's not a joke. When sending us emails, for God's sake, please state your full name. Try to use the whole sentences. Use punctuation, and it will not kill you if you use a word please every now and then. I mean, some of the emails we received during last few years are just hilarious, but some can really causes us some frustration because, for example, we don't know who the person is, there is no name, or sometimes we have to make the whole research project to see who that particular person is writing is. That in particular, that happens with Spanish and Portuguese students, because usually have more surnames, and we have you in our database with one primary surname, and then you have the email with your third surname, and we don't, and then you are Alejandro and you write us as Alex, and then we don't know who that person is. So please write your full names, and please with the whole sentences. Okay, that concludes our.
We have one question. What does P means in the schedule of the rooms?
P.
So,
okay, yeah, that's a good question. So our faculty has 4 floors, and so it's ground floor. We call it BICIKEI, then the first, second, and the third. Okay, but we also have basement, and that P means that the room is in the basement.
So if you have room with P is basement, 0 is the ground floor,
Yes.
114 is the first floor, and 214 is the second room floor.
Okay.
Okay.
There any other question?
No.
Thank you. Okay.
Hello, I'm sorry, can I ask you?
Yeah,
I have
sure.
one question regarding the changes in the learning agreement. You said that it has to be approved by my home coordinator. Is there any official form, or is it email is fine?
Well, it's like this. So you have a learning agreement, which has actually 3 parts. First part is before the mobility, then you have the second part, which is called changes during mobility, and then it's the final part after the mobility. So in theory, or if you do everything by the book, you have sent us the first suggestion for learning agreement, and you have filled in this first part, and we have agreed on which courses you're going to have, and we have signed. So you have now the fully signed first part of the learning agreement. Now, if you decide to make any changes, you start entering information into this second part, changes during the exchange. In there, you will see what you have to mark, what changes are you doing in terms of courses that you are taking with us. So if you are changing which courses you are having in Faculty of Education, you will have to mark that. But then in the second part, you will also have to mark what these changes means for your recognition. So in this first part of the learning agreement, you put down the courses you are having here, and then you have to list, if you enter the information correctly, you have to list the courses which will be recognized on your home university. So by that, if you make some change in our list of courses, probably, but not necessarily, that means also that this is probably changing also something in your recognition process. And that's why it is important that you fulfill this and ask your coordinator, because you have to be sure that all the courses you're doing here, or most of them, will be recognized once you come back home. Now, this second part of the learning agreement does not have a special designated place for signature. In theory, in the instructions by Erasmus program, it's stipulated that it's enough if we confirm, if the coordinators confirm the changes by email. And for us, this is enough. But my experience shows that majority of the coordinators abroad, and especially in Eastern Europe, still demand a signature. So even though there is no space for the signature, they ask us to sign somewhere. So if your coordinator demands a signature, we will sign it. But if he's okay or she's okay just with the confirmation by email, then we can just confirm by email.
So
Thank you.
if you would like to make any changes, please send us the email first. What kind of change you would like to make, so we will make sure that there is still available space in the specific course. After we agree on the change, inform also your home coordinator and see if he or she agrees it with the change. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, some of you have also picked courses on other faculties, which is possible. So you will see now if everything works out with the schedule. Just know that each faculty in our university has its own VIS. So when you will go into our VIS, you will not see the courses from other faculties if you have any. And when you will go to the VIS system of that particular faculty, you will not see in there our courses. That also means that at the end, you will receive separate transcript of records. So you will send me an email saying, I completed all the courses, I have all the grades in this and the Faculty of Education, can you send me the transcript of records? But you will have to do the same also on other faculty if you have any courses there. Okay. Any other question? If not, you know where to find me. I expect that most of you will come Monday or Tuesday. I will probably work on Wednesday from home. So Wednesday I will not be in the office, but Thursday I'm again back. So as I said, the best way it is that you send me first the email just to make sure that I'm there. But if you are already at the faculty, of course, you can come and knock on my door and see if I'm there that particular day. We still have these partially restrictions, and we are encouraged to work from home as much as possible. So about 2 days per week, I'm still working from home. So that's why I'm saying it's better for you if you send me the email and I make sure that I am at the faculty at that particular day.
So we will stay online for a few minutes if you have any other question. Otherwise, we are done.
Okay, thank you for your attention. And I hope you will have wonderful time in Ljubljana, and that's all. The most of the restrictions will be gone by the middle of the semester. That's we are all hoping for.
Okay.